What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about the Black Ops 6 Warzone map, again, COD Next, and some very interesting rumors. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and as a big reminder, we got plenty of brand new article coverage going up on detonated.com for those who want to stay up to date with all things Call of Duty, just in the form of articles. Now, also as a big FYI for the remainder of August, there is a big promo happening over at Gamer Advantage. You could save 50% off any pair of Horizon frames, not the ones that I'm wearing here, but you can also stack that with my code Dynamite to save up to 60% off any order on some Horizon glasses. Be sure to check that out to get the best blue light protection in the gaming industry. Now, I wasn't expecting to talk about this particular topic again that I want to kickstart this video with, and that's in regards to Verdansk. Now, as I've been very vocal about in recent podcasts and other Black Ops 6 videos, Verdansk doesn't make sense to me to release during the Black Ops 6 life cycle unless it's maybe in March of 2025, which will mark the 5-year anniversary of Warzone altogether. In that case, I'm cool with it, right? If we're not going to be getting a Black Ops twist on Verdansk to where it's like a Verdansk 91, similar to Cold War's Verdansk 84, then I don't really see where Verdansk could fit in. I know people are advocating for it to be the Season 1 map in a couple of months from now. I just don't think that makes sense. But according to leaker Bob Network UK over on Twitter, he's claiming the following about the return of Verdansk during Black Ops 6. So apparently, Verdansk may not return until after or around Season 2 of Black Ops 6 in 2025, as Raven Software are apparently behind on the project, causing a potential delay in its release. Now, it's unclear what may have caused the delay. I know Raven had to take on the Black Ops 6 campaign along with Treyarch recently, and they've probably been working on some other projects along the lines of that, but I'm wondering what could have went wrong to where Verdansk got delayed, considering several POIs from Verdansk have already been brought back across campaign and even recently with Superstore. So what exactly happened, or what is happening, and was there really ever a plan to bring it back until maybe the Fortnite OG map ended up coming into the mix, and then that kind of created more spark and hype surrounding Verdansk's return? That's when Activision could have greenlit it. Who knows exactly what the story is there, but I think if there's any time to announce the return of Verdansk, it's going to be during COD Next, similar to last year's COD Next broadcast where they went ahead and confirmed the return of both Fortune's Keep and Rebirth. They even gave us estimated release windows for those maps, which were both accurate, so wouldn't be shocked if they come out and say on August 28th, hey guys, Verdansk is coming back in mid-March of 2025, or at least Q1, Q2 2025. Maybe they'll come out with that information at the very least. Now, speaking of COD Next, the official broadcast from Call of Duty was just scheduled on their channel. Now, I do plan on scheduling my stream in the next few days here, so you guys can see when I go live on August 28th. Really excited about it. Can't wait to get my hands on the game again. But as you can see from the description of the official Call of Duty broadcast, you could see that we're going to be getting the latest details on Black Ops 6, including Black Ops 6 live gameplay reveals. So that's probably referring to multiplayer, Black Ops 6 zombies, and we know that means Liberty Falls, the future of Warzone, then mobile rundown. That's Call of Duty Mobile and Warzone Mobile, followed by live gameplay from your favorite streamers. So with all of that in mind, I think it's first off interesting they mentioned Call of Duty Mobile because that game is disconnected from the premium series, unlike Warzone Mobile. We know WZM was included at both the MW2 and MW3 COD Next events, but never have we seen COD Mobile added into that mix. So really curious to see what they have in store for the future of mobile there. I'll be sure to cover all that as well, and we'll also do so over on Detonated. But when it comes to the Warzone aspect of things, like I just said earlier, I do believe there'll end up being some type of acknowledgement of the return of Verdansk, if they're going to mention anything at all about the return of that beloved OG experience. But don't forget about the other two Black Ops 6 Warzone maps that we have talked about quite a bit here on the channel already. I'm sure at least one of these other maps is also going to be addressed. First off, there's Area 99, apparently a new Resurgence map that got leaked out by Bob Network UK over on Twitter. It's unclear where the map takes place or what the map features, but could be the new Rebirth, right? Apparently the first actual Warzone map that Treyarch has worked on since Blackout. And I know Blackout wasn't a Warzone map, but you get what I mean. The first Treyarch made Battle Royale or Resurgence map since Blackout could be Area 99. I feel like this will be the map that ends up releasing with Season 1, because look at the tradition of the last couple of Call of Duty titles, right? Every first season of each new COD title has ended up not only integrating all the weapons and new mechanics, but also offered a new Warzone map, whether it was for Battle Royale or Resurgence. Now, apart from Area 99, we also have Avalon. This is a big space that we already technically have attack map for, since we got to see it in the Black Ops 6 direct live stream, but this is apparently a big space that will eventually be added into Battle Royale that we're going to be seeing first through the Black Ops 6 campaign and through various multiplayer maps. Now, what's really confusing about this map is that, once again, according to Bob Network UK, a known leaker on Twitter, we're not going to be seeing Avalon added into Warzone until the integration of Black Ops 2025, not Black Ops 6. This is a little confusing considering the map Avalon apparently does take place in the 90s, I'd presume, according to the consistency with campaign and multiplayer. So how does a futuristic Black Ops game make sense to add in Avalon as its Warzone map? That's a little odd, right? And is essentially a do-over of the Los Alamos situation that we had last year with Modern Warfare 2, because we saw Los Alamos added through the MW2 campaign and in a bunch of multiplayer maps. But we never saw the map as a whole added to Warzone. Apparently that was being saved, but the map later got turned into Urzikstan, and that was the integration for MW3 Season 1. So something weird happened with Los Alamos, and something weird could happen again with Avalon, but either way, Avalon would also be the first big Battle Royale map that Treyarch has worked on since Blackout, so I'm really crossing my fingers that the map ends up seeing the light of day. Now, what I find really exciting about Avalon is that it really does feel like a Blackout 2.0. There are so many remastered maps from lots of classic Black Ops games and even non-Black Ops games that are going to be making their way into points of interest here on Avalon. So let's start off with the map that you guys certainly did not expect, and this is a map called Sicily. This is a map that was in the original Call of Duty 1 from 2003. Apparently, this map will be a POI on Avalon. Now, Call of Duty 2003 was developed by Infinity Ward, not Treyarch, so there is a strong possibility that this map could signify, hey, there's going to be other POIs around Avalon that weren't originally developed by Treyarch, which I'm totally cool with, by the way. That sounds really interesting to me, and I also believe the list of remaster maps that are currently leaked out probably isn't the final list of remastered maps that we're going to see here in Avalon. Now, I did make a multiplayer focused video sort of about this topic a couple of weeks ago, because I do believe a lot of these remaster maps that we're talking about here could make their way into Black Ops 6 via 6v6 for multiplayer. So another map that I actually didn't mention in my MP video that recently got found is Yemen. Yemen is a map that we did see in Black Ops 2 2012, and funny enough, this map actually played a pretty large role in the real-life Gulf War, so it actually does make sense to see a 90s spin on this map and a reimagining of Yemen for either multiplayer or Warzone. So apparently this is going to be a POI in an upcoming Warzone Battle Royale map. Next up, we have a map called Fringe. Now, Fringe was actually seen partially through Blackout, and this was a jetpack map from Black Ops 3 multiplayer. If this map makes its way into BO6 MP, that would mark, I believe, the first time we've seen a jetpack design MP map converted into a boots on the ground experience. But either way, if we see this over in Avalon, I think it makes the most sense because it actually was an absolute classic over in Black Ops 3 multiplayer. But moving into some Black Ops fan favorites, we of course have Firing Range, a map that has been in just about every Black Ops title, apart from Cold War, unfortunately, but it was actually in BO4 3 different times, right? You had the daytime version, the nighttime version, and the POI for it over in Blackout. So if it's back in Avalon, I'm totally down for that. I also saw a funny comment recently that it's kind of a missed opportunity to not use a piece of the Firing Range map as the firing range testing ground where you can test out your loadout weapons. That would actually make so much sense, right? But maybe it'll still be in Avalon. Who actually knows? Moving into a map called Hazard. This is actually an absolute gem from the Black Ops 1 DLC season. This is a giant golf course. And like I said before, even in the multiplayer video recently, there are so many maps from the DLC seasons of Black Ops 1, 2, 3, 4 that certainly deserve a chance to be reimagined on the new COD Unified engine, especially for Black Ops 6. So would not be opposed to seeing maps like this over in Avalon. Apparently this map is going to be back in its full glory as an Avalon POI. But next up we have WMD. This is also a classic map that we saw in Black Ops 1, again through Black Ops 4's Black Ops Pass, and then again in Cold War Year 2. Now, considering the snowy theme the map has, I'm curious if we're going to see multiple weather types in Avalon at once. I'm actually not opposed to that at all. That would be excellent. I think Euro Mountains was originally going to have multiple weather types when that was the Blackout 2.0 of Cold War, but maybe we'll end up seeing a dried up and sunny version of WMD here in Warzone's Avalon. Who actually knows? But we then have a map called Detour, and I'm also going to include footage of a map called Dig. These are two DLC maps that we had in in Black Ops 2 multiplayer, and they actually played very damn well, but would not mind seeing these yet again here in Avalon. As a big reminder, with the recent leaked build of the Black Ops 6 beta, some folks went into certain multiplayer maps that do take place in Avalon, and they no-clipped out of the map and kind of zoomed around the entire space to see low-res versions of the various Avalon POIs. This is similar to what happened to Verdansk back in Modern Warfare 19, where obviously you had POIs from Verdansk as multiplayer maps, but the whole map is actually still loaded in all at once. So if you go ahead and no-clip using mod tools to zoom around the whole map, you'll still see low-resolution versions of every other POI that'll be in that big world. I'm also curious to see a 90s aesthetic on a lot of these futuristic-like maps like Detour and Dig. Funny enough, Dig was actually a map called Courtyard back in World at War. But speaking of which, we had two other POIs found on Avalon known as Outskirts and Bonsai. These two maps were actually reimagined for the future in Black Ops 3. These were maps called Verge and Rupture, so it's unclear if these will be very colorful reimaginings of these World at War POIs, or will they just be the classic-looking environments that we saw back in, 2008? Really curious to see how they end up turning some of these old environments into new POIs for Warzone. Definitely excited nonetheless, but coming towards the end here, we have a map called Hacienda. This is an absolute classic from Black Ops 4 multiplayer. There was also a nighttime version in that game, I think added in some point a few months after launch. This was a great map that, in my opinion, is probably the face of Black Ops 4 multiplayer. It was also the focus of my Black Ops 6 MP video that I made about 2 weeks ago, going over all these remastered maps, because I'm sure some of these maps I just mentioned are going to be added as 6v6 DLC maps later on in the post-launch seasons. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. Which Warzone map do you guys want to see added in first? Area 99 for Resurgence, Avalon for Battle Royale, or Verdansk as a bit of a return to that OG Warzone experience? How are you feeling about the remastered maps that were found thus far, plus everything else we discussed? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.